The Florence Cathedral, a journey through stone, miracles and timeless mysteries. Have you ever imagined walking where Michelangelo once carved his David? In the shadows of a Florentine workshop, among the sound of chisels and marble dust, the destiny of one of the most extraordinary domes ever built by man was already taking shape. But there's a secret that only few know, a mystery that indissolubly links Brunelleschi's dome to Florence's history, and I'll reveal it to you only at the end of this journey. On a cold morning in 1296, while mist still wrapped the Tuscan hills, the first stone was laid of what would become Florence's symbol. But what the Florentines didn't know was that they were giving birth to a construction site that would challenge the laws of physics and forever revolutionize the way of building. The Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore, simply known as Florence's Duomo, was born from the ashes of the small church of Santa Reparata, now too cramped to welcome a growing population. Architect Arnolfo di Cambio, already famous for designing the Basilica of Santa Croce and Palazzo Vecchio, had something grandiose in mind. His project envisioned a cathedral that, once completed in the 15th century, would become the largest church in the world. When you walk in Piazza del Duomo, know that you're treading one of medieval Christianity's most sacred places, where every stone tells a story of faith and ambition. The mystery of the impossible dome. For over a century, from 1296 to 1420, the cathedral remained unfinished. The problem was singular. Nobody knew how to build that gigantic dome that Neri de Fioravanti had designed in 1367. With its 45 meters of internal diameter and 54 meters of external diameter, it would have been the largest dome ever built. But how to support such a structure without traditional wooden centering? The secret lay in the genius of a man who would forever change architecture, Filippo Brunelleschi. When in 1418 he won the competition for the dome's construction, his proposal seemed mad: to build two domes, one inside the other, without any external support. It was such a revolutionary idea that his contemporaries considered it impossible. On August 7, 1420, with a breakfast of bread, melon, and wine, one of history's most extraordinary construction sites began. Brunelleschi didn't limit himself to designing the architecture. He invented innovative machines, rotating winches, vertical and horizontal carts, all moved by animal force through ingenious use of gears. He rediscovered ancient Roman ulivelle, forgotten instruments for lifting stone blocks, finding one still embedded in a block during his studies in Rome. What makes Brunelleschi's dome unique is not only its size, but the way it was built. The herringbone technique required that every 90 centimeters of horizontally placed bricks, one was placed vertically, creating a spiral that gave solidity to the entire structure. Over 4 million bricks were used for a total weight of 37,000 tons. But there's an even more extraordinary aspect: construction site safety. In an era when human life was worth little, Brunelleschi had parapets installed on scaffolding, created spaces for meal consumption at height, and even paid medical care for injured workers. In 16 years of work, only 8 serious injuries and 1 death were recorded, an exceptional record for the time. Walking around the Duomo, you can discover some of Florence's most fascinating secrets. On the right side, you'll notice a bull's head that has fueled legends for centuries. The official version tells that it's a tribute to the animals that work to transport construction materials. But popular legend tells of a master builder who, discovered by his lover's husband, placed the horned head pointing toward the betrayed baker's shop to eternally remind him of his condition. Even more mysterious is Anselmo's story, a Florentine who in the early 1400s dreamed of being mauled by a lion. The dream repeated every night, and every day Anselmo passed before the Porta dei Cornacchini, where a lion statue was carved. One day, to exorcise his fear, he decided to put his hand in the statue's mouth. A scorpion hidden between the stone jaws stung him, and Anselmo died within 24 hours, fulfilling his premonitory dream. The cathedral's interior will surprise you with its austerity, almost in contrast with the facade's richness. But looking up toward the dome, you'll discover one of the world's most grandiose pictorial cycles, Giorgio Vasari and Federico Zuccari's Last Judgment. 3,600 square meters of frescoes, representing the largest surface ever decorated with frescoes. Climbing the dome means facing 463 steps without an elevator, but the reward is incomparable. From the panoramic terrace placed 91 meters above ground, Florence spreads at your feet like an open book. The terracotta roofs, the Arno winding between palaces, the Tuscan hills fading into the horizon. It's a panorama that will make you understand why Florence is considered the cradle of the Renaissance. The Opera del Duomo Museum houses some of the most important masterpieces in world art history. Here you can admire Michelangelo's Bandini Pietà, the artist's last sculpture, which he began carving in 1547 thinking of his own funeral monument. Lorenzo Ghiberti's original Gates of Paradise, so called by Michelangelo for their beauty, are preserved in a room that recreates the Baptistery's original atmosphere. Donatello's Magdalene, one of the Renaissance's most moving sculptures, will strike you with its emotional intensity. In the museum's 28 rooms, distributed over 6,000 square meters, you can retrace over 7 centuries of Florentine artistic history. The Baptistery of San Giovanni, dedicated to Florence's patron saint, is the oldest of the square's monuments. Its octagonal plan and interior decorations recall Byzantine art, while the marble floor reproduces Oriental carpets with zodiac representations rich in symbolic meanings. The 3 bronze doors tell the story of Christian salvation, but it's the Gate of Paradise, with its 10 panels narrating the Old Testament, that represents Ghiberti's absolute masterpiece. Each panel is a universe of details, a lesson in perspective, and a hymn to divine beauty. Spring is perhaps the most magical time to visit the Duomo. Mild temperatures make climbing the dome pleasant, while April and May's golden light enhances the colors of the facade's polychrome marbles. The white marbles from Carrara, green from Prato, and red from Siena create a chromatic harmony that reaches its peak with spring's natural illumination. For summer visitors, the advice is to arrive early in the morning when light is softer and queues shorter. The sunset atmosphere has particular charm. The marbles seem to light up with silver light, transforming the square into a theatrical stage. Cathedral entry is free, but to visit other monuments, you'll need to purchase one of 3 available passes. The Brunelleschi pass at €30 includes everything: dome, bell tower, baptistry, museum, and crypt. Dome reservation is mandatory and tickets are nominative. Hours vary throughout the year. The cathedral is open Monday to Saturday from 10:15 a.m. to 3:45 p.m., while the dome is accessible daily with extended hours. Remember to dress appropriately, covering shoulders and legs, and don't bring bulky backpacks. Climbing the dome is not recommended for those suffering from vertigo, claustrophobia, or heart problems. To avoid longer queues, book online well in advance, especially during weekends and summer months. Here we are at the moment you've been waiting for. What's the secret that indissolubly links Brunelleschi's dome to Florence's history? The mystery lies in a detail few know. In 1475, Paolo dal Pozzo Toscanelli created a gnomon in the dome, the highest ever built until then. This astronomical instrument allowed precise establishment of the summer solstice moment, a discovery that convinced Pope Gregory XIII to align solar dates with the official calendar, creating the famous Gregorian calendar we still use today. Thus, Brunelleschi's dome wasn't only an architectural miracle, but also became the instrument that regulated time for all Christianity. Every time you look at a calendar, remember that time itself passed through that dome dominating Florence's skies. When the sun begins to set behind Tuscan hills, Piazza del Duomo transforms into a magical stage. The facade's marbles capture the last light rays, creating golden reflections that dance on polychrome surfaces. It's the perfect moment to sit on the Baptistery steps and contemplate the timeless beauty of this monumental complex that required nearly 6 centuries to complete. Have you ever imagined that behind every stone of this cathedral lay so much history, so much human genius? Florence's Duomo isn't just a monument, but a testament to an entire civilization's ingenuity, faith, and ambition. Each of your visits will be different, because light changes, seasons follow one another, but beauty remains eternal. And you, which of these secrets struck you most? Have you ever noticed the bull's head on the facade during your visits? Tell us in the comments which detail of the Duomo moved you most, and share this journey with those who, like you, believe that beauty is humanity's universal language. Subscribe to the channel to not miss other journeys through history, and activate the bell to stay updated on the mysteries and wonders of our cultural heritage.